is projected to be in his mock lottery for next year's NBA draft. Are we buying or selling Trentyn Flowers as a future lottery pick next season?
Oh man, we got nobody
We
going
have
out on a limb
nobody's
here.
disagree, and that's no
I,
disrespect to Trent Flowers,
no,
by the way. Let me
Hey,
at
and the
say
all.
good thing
this.
about us putting them up at the same time is nobody can accuse us of having somebody just be different for for the show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So
I, I'll lead it off. I'm selling that just because that's like you mentioned earlier, Kyle. That like reclass. I mean, if that were to happen and a reclass become a lottery draft pick next year, I don't know if that's ever happened. It may have. That's definitely not the norm. Kid's still maturing, and he even said as much in an interview last week. He's still got time to mature and everything. So, I I like I think he's going to be the most impactful freshman on this team. I do. I think as the season goes on, his skills and his work are gonna win out. That's why again I had a hard time saying that JJ would be the most improved player. I think Trentyn
mhm.
Flowers is going to have something to say about that. He's very skilled. He was showing out in the summer circuit this summer. He looked good at the USA basketball U19 camp last week. Didn't make the team, but I mean, the kid's going to be. I've been saying it since we got him. I think he's going to be the anomaly for reclasses. So I'm not going to buy. I'm not buying the lottery pick, but it would not surprise me if we're here. A few weeks ago, like if we're here like the beginning of May and we're talking about him having draft buzz and going through that whole draft process, and we're all on the fence, worried, are we going to have him or going to lose him? So I really think he's going to have an outstanding year.
Yeah, and I'm the thing about a lottery pick is you have to be really good to be an NBA lottery pick in the draft, and
Absolutely.
immediately good. And I think Trentyn Flowers, if he's willing to give it a couple of seasons, I think can be a really good and really big impact player for us. I just don't think reclassing and then immediately coming in here and just dominating, or at least showing the potential to dominate, because we know an NBA lottery guy can be drafted on somewhat low numbers, but it's after showing like a lot of potential right off the bat. I think it's going to take him some time to adjust. I think he's still got to tweak his game some as far as his ball handling skills. If he's going to be predominantly playing guard position, which it sounds like he is, I would normally question that because I think he's more of a three, or you could even play him a little bit in stretch four positions, but mainly a three. But with the roster way it's constructed, they're going to put him at the two a lot. I can guarantee that, and that's what we're hearing. So I think that's going to be a little bit of it's going to take a little bit of time for him to do that as well. I think in time the kid is going to be a very good player. Just don't see it being next year's NBA draft lottery.
Yeah, like you guys were saying, there's only so many slots, so I think this was an easy sell. However, this dude is going to come in here and he is going to ball in the I'm just saying it right now.
Hmm.
This dude is going to be a difference maker. And I'm having to contain myself from spoiling one of our other buy or sell topics. Uh, but you can probably already tell how I'm leaning here, even when we get there, just from the couple of comments I've made. But this dude is going to come in and be instant impact. We're going to beat Kentucky with him. I'm going to say it right now. We're going to beat Kentucky with him having a big game, and this
I'm
dude is
feeling
just going
that
to
too.
be there. This dude is going to have some first round conversation, but I
Yeah.
do think that he's going to be kind of more on that back half as far as the conversation.
Yeah.
So he'll probably come back for another year, and then be a lottery pick the next year. So that's kind of my prediction on that.
Right. And that, and looking at it, that all of that, not to get too far off course, but next year he will have been in the draft class that he should have been in, but he's going to be a year more mature and a year ahead of all the freshman competition that he was supposed to be with. And on top of it, like, he's going to be able to go through that whole draft process this coming season. If it works out that way, he's going to be that much more educated. The people around him, his parents, everything, they're going to be that much more comfortable with it to be able, if he does come back, but I think that, I think he's actually gonna. I'm with you, Ash. I think he's gonna come in and make it an immediate impact because you're gonna be playing lower competition. He's gonna be able to show out. He's gonna have, a height skill ratio that those teams can't really compete with. I think where he'll start to struggle is when we get into conference play. You'll have coaches have enough tape on him. Then there'll be some adjustment period, but I do expect him to finish the freshman season strong. I think he's just a baller, man. I love the kid. I think he's going to have a great year.
All
Yeah, it
right.
might be high expectations, Couch House, but I think this dude is going to be unreal. Can't wait to see him in action on campus, or excuse me, at the But I normally refrain myself from putting these high expectations on players, but man, I just have a feeling about this dude. So